Good morning, everyone. This is a solution of math pre-calculus test sample questions. Question number 1. F of x equals 4x squared minus 7. Find f of a plus h minus f of a divided by h. You simply, in this famous expression, quotient, difference quotient, you just substitute in the expression in the function given here for x squared minus 7 by the value a plus h minus substitute with the value of a and then divide all the answer by h. You will get one of these results. So you just write 4 a plus h all squared minus 7 into a plus h minus the f of a, you just insert a instead of x here, 4a squared minus 7a, and divide all these results after squaring a plus h and removing this bracket. You divide all by h, you will get the value 8a plus 4h minus 7, the part C. Question number 2, which one of the following has a graph symmetric with respect to the y-axis? Similar, something like absolute value of x, like this, symmetric with the respect of y-axis. It means an even function, that like absolute value of x, like the parabola x squared, the parent function, the famous function x squared. The one that satisfies this property is A. 2, absolute value of x. But this one is not a function. xy is not this reciprocal function. Y equal 3 over x is the reciprocal function. 2 curves like this in the first and third quadrant. And this is really equation of a circle whose center 2 and negative 1, and the radius equal square root of 4 is equal to 2. So answer is A. Question number 3, I'd like to find the composite function g dot f of x, fx equal, and g equal. Simply, if you want to find this, you just write g of, write the first function here, and substitute for the f of x. The f of x here is actually 3x minus 2. And after that, calculate g of 3x minus 2 by substituting 3x minus 2 instead of each x in the function g. So just write 3x minus 2 all squared plus bracket 3x minus 2 instead of x, and then minus 1. So answer is 9x squared plus 4 minus the middle term, 2 times negative 2 times 3 is negative 12x plus 3x minus 3, negative 2 minus 1. So final answer is 9x squared negative 12x plus 3x is negative 9x, and finally 4 minus 3 is positive 1. So the answer is D. The domain of the function f of x square root of 4 minus 2x is simply just to take the radicand, the expression under the radical sign, this one, and make it non-negative. 4 minus 2x is bigger than or equal to 0. It means the 2x is smaller than or equal to 4 by just adding 2x to each side. So implies x less than or equal to. So the answer is A. All x where x smaller than or equal to 2 and x belongs to a real number. Question 6. An equation of the line through the point 3, 2, negative 6, and negative 1 is, first of all, you just try to find the gradient of this line by subtracting y. 2 minus negative 1 is 3, and over the difference in x in the same direction, 3 minus negative 6, which is 3 over 9 is 1/3. So which of these options is a gradient 1/3? The first one, the gradient of in the equation in the standard form ax plus by is equal to c. The gradient is negative coefficient of x over coefficient of y, negative a over b. This is a rule. So if you apply this formula here, the gradient here negative 1/3, no? Here -1 over -3. Yes, this one. So the gradient of this one, part B, or option B, is -1 over -3 simplified to be 1/3. So B is correct. 6B. Question number 7. Find the distance between the point -3, -5, and -1, -3. By applying Pythagoras theorem directly on these 2 points to find the distance between them, you just subtract the x, -3 minus 1, just a square, plus a subtraction of difference in y, -5 minus -3, and just a square. And after that, take a square root of this value to get a distance. The answer is number 7, 2 radical 5. How? This is -4 squared is 16, and -5 minus -3, -2 squared is 4. So I have a square root of 20, which is square root of 4 times square root of 5, because 20 is 4 times 5. So the answer simplified to 2 square root of 5. This answer. Find the equation of a line containing the point 6, -6 in parallel to this line. Parallel lines having the same slope. The slope of this line is actually -a over b. As I said, negative coefficient of x, -1 divided by 2, which is half. So you have to pick the one that gradient half. Only this option, its gradient is half. Y equals half x minus 9. So D is correct. Question number 9. Which line is perpendicular to the line 2x plus 6y is equal to 1? The gradient of the given equation is simply -2 over 6, negative coefficient of x over coefficient of y, which is -1/3. So the gradient of perpendicular line must be negative reciprocal of -1/3, which is 3. Which of these equation gradient 3? Go to each option and check. This is -3, no. This is -2 over -6, no. This is -6 over -2 equal 3, yes. So this line, 6x minus 2y equals 1, is perpendicular. When you graph it, is equal to 1. This line, when you graph it, will be perpendicular, intersect with the given line to x plus 6, y is equal to 1. Simply, if you want to do it quickly without solving anything, look at the coefficient of x and y. You have 2 and 6. Pick the one with coefficient 6 and -2. Look, 2 and 6 here. Simply, 6 and -2 here in the same order. Same order means x and y equal a number, x plus y equal a number. Question number 10. Rationalize the denominator. Just you multiply to make the denominator is a rational number. Just multiply by square root of 5 minus 8, the conjugate number of root 5 plus 8. You just multiply up and down by this value. It's easy, you can use a calculator direct, but in this exam, using calculator is not allowed. How to multiply root 5 plus 8 times root 5 minus 8? Simply, you just write root 5 squared minus 8 squared. This is the answer. And this one, you can use distributive property by multiplying radical 6 into root 5, radical 30 minus radical 6 and 8 is 8 radical 6. Final answer is root 5 is 5, root 5 squared is 5, and 8 squared is 64. The same value up, 30 minus 8 radical 6. So 5 minus 64 is negative 59. I think this answer is correct. Okay. But to be simplest form, if you want to simplify this, just multiply by -1 up and down to leave denominator a positive value. 8 root 6 minus radical 30. Thank you. This is the simplest form. Question number 11. Which quadrant equation has the following solution? 2 plus root 2i and 3 minus root 2i. First of all, you get the sum of the roots just by adding. 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. And this part plus its inverse is 0. The product of the two roots, 3 plus root 2i into 3 minus root 2i simply is 3 squared plus root 2 squared. Plus, because negative times positive is negative and I times I squared is -1, so the final answer is positive root 2 squared. So it's 9 plus 2 is equal to 11. If you have the sum of two roots of quadratic equation equals 6 and the product is equal to 11, the equation is simply x squared minus the sum x plus the product 11 is equal to 0. So the correct answer is B. Question number 12. Solve a system of equation. If you want to solve this system of equation, you have to get rid of the x and y. The first equation, you have a common factor 9. You can divide the first equation by 9. So you will get x plus y is equal to 9. And after that, the second equation is you have negative 7x plus 4y equal 36. So take this resulting equation from the first one, just multiply it by 7 to get 7x plus 7y is equal to 63. And this take the second equation under it direct and just add. If you add the two equations, you get rid of the x term, and 7 plus 4 is 11y is equal to 99. So the y value is equal to 9. After getting y value 9, you can simplify in the easiest equation you get through the steps. If you put 9 here in the first equation, you have x plus 9 is equal to 9, so x is equal to 0. So 0 and 9 is the correct answer for this system of equation. Question number 13, quite easy. What is the value of k in the polynomial function? P of x is 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus kx minus 1. If f of negative 4 is equal to, p of negative 1 is equal to 4, you just go to this polynomial and substitute. P of negative 1, go to the polynomial and just write negative 1 instead of each x. So you have negative 2 because negative 1 cubed is negative 1. Minus 3, negative 1 squared is 1. 1 times negative 3 is the same. And the negative 1 times k will be negative k minus 1. This value all will be 4. So negative 2 minus 3 minus 1 is actually negative 6 minus k is equal to 4. So 6 plus k is equal to negative 4. So the k is actually a negative 10. So k is negative 10. Find f plus g of x when f of 3 is equal to x plus 6 and the g of x is equal to x minus 1. Just add the function normally as very similar to adding like expression when you have x plus 6. I'd like to add x minus 1 to it. So the answer is 2x 6 plus negative 1 is 5. So the sum of the f plus g is 2x plus 5, but actually here I use the f of 3 here. So f of 3, it means it's x at 3. So I just add f plus g of the number 3. 2 times 3 plus 5 is equal to 11. So the answer is 11 in question 14. Question number 15, you have two functions, one linear and one radical function. What is the domain of f dot g? The domain of the composite function is simply the domain of the g dot f intersection the domain of the f. So if you apply this rule, domain of the composite function, domain of f actually is R, is a polynomial. And to find the domain of composite function, you have to find it first and then intersect its domain with the R. So g dot f of x is equal to g of the f of x is 2x minus 5, and then substitute 2x minus 5 into g, this one, square root of 2x minus 5 plus 8, which is 2x plus 3. The domain of this function is 2x plus 3 is bigger than or equal to 0, and x now is bigger than or equal negative 3 over 2, which is negative 1.5. So the answer is intersection of the domain of the f, the second function, which is R, the whole real number, with this part, negative 1.5, x bigger than or equal, the intersection now with the number line with this interval at this part. So the answer is negative 1.5 and infinity. This is the domain of the composite function g dot f of x. Given f of x is 7x plus 2, the f inverse is simply do the inverse operation on this linear function. You have a plus 2, just write x and then subtract 2. You have x times 7, do the opposite, just divide by 7. Thank you so much. Question 16, answer is B. And last question here, number 17. Compute and simplify the difference quotient f of x plus h minus f of x over h, where f of x is 1 over 6 plus x. So actually the answer is, in this part, you substitute in the difference quotient formula by writing like this. You have a function, 1 over 6 minus x. So 1 over x plus h, this will be, this part will be instead of this x only. So will be 1 over 6 minus, the minus will go for the x plus h, so minus x minus h, minus the f of x is the function itself. This is the first part. This all will be divided by h. So simplify this one by multiplying common denominator here. The denominator is completely different. So just multiply the denominator, 6 minus x into 6 minus x minus h, and the numerator will be like a cross multiplication. 6 minus x minus, this minus 1 will be multiplied in the whole bracket. So will be negative 6 and plus x and plus h. This all divided by h. So finally, you have 6 minus 6 is 0, and negative x plus x is 0. Finally, you have h over the bracket 6 minus x into 6 minus x minus h all over 1, all over h. So h divided by h is 1. So the final answer is 1 over this. 1 over 6 minus x minus h into 6 minus h, which is A. Last question for this video in question number 18. If you have log 8 for the base x is equal to negative 3, just take it here. Log 8 for the base x is equal to negative 3. The question is, I want to solve onto x. Convert this log equation to exponential by writing 8 is equal to x to the power of negative 3. X to the power of negative 3, it means 1 over x cubed is equal to 8, which is 8 over 1. So cross multiplication, you can write 8x cubed is equal to 1. So the x cubed is 1 over 8. So the x value is a cube root of 1 over 8, which is 1/2. So the answer is 1/2. Last question, number 19. Solve log the base x, log 8 base 2 is equal to 2. First of all, you go to solve this part. The log 8 base 2 means 2 raised to what power to be 8? It's easy to write 3. Or you can factor 8 as 2 power 3 for the base 2 and apply the power rule for logarithm by writing 3 log 2 base 2. And the log 2 for the base of 2 is actually 1. So the answer finally is 3. So the question now is log 3 base x is equal to 2. So the x squared now is equal to 3. So the x is square root of 3. Of course, the base of the log must be positive number. You cannot say positive and negative 3. Okay? I stop here today and see if you want to see the rest of solution of this exam, you can see the next video. Thank you so much. See you next time.